Sound the alarm. Send the signal. Light the beacon. Go and get this man. Go and get Ryan Mason. I think that's what Spurs have to do right now to go and have any chance of survival. And you might call me crazy for that, but that is just how I feel. I think Spurs need to sack Igor Tudor. And I know when he came in, I tried to be positive about him, but this situation has got worse, and it's got worse rapidly. 3 defeats on the spin so far. No sign in any upturning performances. In fact, potentially even a regression as well. And last night, I think has made many Spurs fans almost just accept their fate. That's kind of how I feel. But there is still a chance to salvage this. And I'd rather Spurs roll the dice one more time than not. I can't see it happening before the Atletico Madrid game, but there is a chance. Tottenham looking at second manager in a month. Igor Tudor is at risk after 3 defeats from 3 matches. Talks to Roberto De Zerbi to take charge in the summer. Probably Pochettino as well. Even exclusive Tunnel Club members join the revolt. There's also been articles, I think this afternoon from Sammy Mockbell saying Spurs aren't necessarily looking at it imminently, but it's something that could change quite quickly because I think the club might panic. And I think Ryan Mason, and let me know what you think in the comments, guys, as well. And also make sure to like the video, make sure to hype the video as well. That massively helps me out. And also make sure to subscribe to the channel. That'd be massively appreciated. On the march to 20k, nearly there. If you guys could help me get there before in the next week or so, that'd be massively appreciated. Thank you for all the support on the channel recently and all the Spurs discussion that we've been having. And if you want to become a channel member as well for exclusive bonus content like Darren and doing a preview podcast before every game of the Rival Fan and much, much more, all the details are in the link below where you can click that and go onto it. But with Ryan Mason, right, I know at West Brom, obviously he left him in a very precarious position. Right, wasn't getting results, and that is why he was sacked. That's why he was sacked. But a lot of West Brom fans said that actually the performances didn't necessarily marry up to the results, and they were getting quite unlucky. I think in terms of the XG table, they were very high in the league up until even when he was sacked. I think he had them playing as one of the better sides. They couldn't convert their chances, but it gets to a point where maybe it just does become not unlucky anymore, and you have to make a change. Ryan Mason knows the club. He will get buy-in from the fans. He's been here before. He knows what it means to manage Tottenham Hotspur. And with Igor Tudor, despite the fact that I think when he first came in, I thought he spoke well. I thought he was impressive. I thought he was the right kind of character that had the right sort of aura almost to be able to get us out of this situation. And he has got a proven track record of being able to turn situations around quite quickly. But Igor Tudor's record also does suggest if things don't start well, or if he hits a sticky patch and a difficult patch in his managerial career at that club, he has proven that he isn't able to turn things around. And we've already kind of skipped the good bit with him being able to come in and turn things round. We've not seen that at Tottenham, and I think that's why I would probably roll the dice and make the change and get a manager in that will probably trust younger players, will probably balance the team out a little bit better as well, and will get buy-in from the fans. I would go with Ryan Mason personally. Now, I am a member of Finalysis, right? I have a Finalysis page. It's a really good app where fans can go over and discuss talking points, topics. You can rate the players, all of those kind of things. It's a really good app for fans, like-minded fans to have a conversation. Come over and chat with me on there. And I put a poll out on Finalysis earlier on today asking the question, should Igor Tudor be sacked? And you can see here, 77% of the votes suggest that he should, 23% none. You can also see from certain fans, Hugo there saying the only one trying, appreciation posts for Archie Gray. See you in the championship, says J Balls. There's a lot of very upset, angry fans on there, as you can see. You can see me down there in the starting 11 as well. You can see my player ratings from last night. If we go over to here as well, this is what you can do after the game. These were my player ratings. Archie Gray, our standout player. Vicario, poor. Van der Ven, nowhere near enough. Maybe I was a bit harsh on some of the players, but honestly, just dreadful. Igor Tudor as well. I think this might be the average player score. I don't know if this is from my ratings or it might be from everybody, but you can see a lot of people are in the same boat. Someone said there, Rolls Royce Van der Ven will be a massive miss while suspended. I'm not buying into that at the moment. And the person that rates him underneath gives him a 1. Archie Gray, top performer from the game. My prediction was that we'd beat them 2-1. I felt like it was optimistic before. But yeah, you can see a lot of fans not happy. Real desperate times. Where are the next points coming from? Had every confidence until the red card. At least Simmons wasn't on, so at least we had 10 men. No spirit given up. Sack Tudor on a point. The youth team coach. Play the youngsters in Madrid. I would agree with that. I don't care about the Champions League game, honestly. But if you want to get involved with that, click the link in the description to download Finalysis and you can join me. It's a good place for Spurs fans to kind of come together and chat. But yeah, like I said, 77% of fans say that they would sack Igor Tudor. Now, Igor Tudor, after the game last night, came out and said, the boat is going in the direction I need it to go. I'm kind of sick of these analogies from Tottenham managers. Who is in the boat can stay, the others can leave the boat. I mean, we know who is in the boat. We know which players are up for the fight, right? If you could go through the team last night, and we were talking about this on the new episode of Only Tottenham, which is out today. We actually did it live, so thank you to anybody that joined in, but it is available to listen and watch on demand as normal, so you can check that out via the link in the description. Seb and I were going through all the players from last night. How many of those players would you want to be in the trenches with, realistically, at the moment? Archie Gray, for me, definitely. I think Archie Gray's performances have been outstanding, really. Like, absolutely outstanding. In context, in the situation. Pedro Porro, I probably would be. Kevin Danso, yeah. Perhaps Sarr, despite the fact he's not been at his best, yeah, I think he's trying. Matty's Tell, definitely. I know Palhinha's going to care, but he's been poor. Solanke as well, obviously got the goal last night. But there aren't many, are there? There aren't many at all. And it says a lot that Archie Gray is performing in the way that he is. Is he actually going to... Would we even keep Archie Gray if we went down? Would we even keep him? Because I honestly would say that I'd probably make him our captain in the Championship, and I'm not even joking. But I think we know which players are in the boat. But he said, it sounds strange, but I believe more after this game than I did before. I saw something. Well, we took the lead. We weren't as bad in the first half before we imploded, but the bar is on the floor. But the fact that we imploded in the way that we did shows that this team is still absolutely miles off it. The Opta analyst predicted table has now significantly reduced our odds of staying up if we go and look at it, right? If we go and look at this, predicted table, our percentage chance of going down is now 16%, predicting us to finish on 40 points. I'm not sure where those points are coming from. Apparently, you're going to finish 3 points above West Ham, who are 50% likely to go down. I don't buy into that, and I think that's why things have got to change again. Igor Tudor was ultimately coming to turn the tide and get things going instantly. Yes, there are still some winnable games on paper there for Spurs that he could get results in. But I just feel like, even Porro last night, see that clip of when Porro got substituted, him almost having a go at Tudor, I don't think he's got the buy-in from the players either, really, and that's been evidence in terms of the performances. The players are a disgrace. I also look at Tudor as well, and when I spoke about Mason in terms of profiling players, maybe it's just I've got this idea in my head of Mason kind of back to basics. We kind of saw that with the 2 times that he took over us. You know, we were asking for Kane, Bale, Son, Dele. I mean, look at those options compared to what we got now. But, you know, get Bale in the team, get Dele in the 10, all those kind of things. Just go 4-2-3-1. Let's keep it simple. Same thing as when he came back the second time, which didn't go quite as well. But Porro playing at right-sided centre-back and Archie Gray playing at right wing-back. That's just a nonsense for me. Like, again, despite the fact that he's got his hands tied behind his back, there are too many square pegs in round holes when actually, even with the players that you've got available on the pitch, without even turning to the bench, you can make changes in that starting lineup that will probably make us more balanced and actually get players in the right position. I.e., Gray probably going into midfield, Palhinha dropping to right-sided centre-back, and Porro going to right wing-back. I think Archie Gray at the moment, with the way that he's playing and the fight that he's showing, I think he needs to be in the heart of that midfield now. I think he has to. I think if Ryan Mason came in, I think we'd probably see that. He'd see how he's playing. When some of the other players come back as well, they'd be straight in the team, and some of the youngsters as well. I think he'd trust the likes of Matty's Tell. I do think that. I think Ryan Mason would straight away be able to communicate probably better with the players, would be able to kind of separate the wheat from the chaff, know who he can kind of trust. He's got relationships with some of those players as well when he was a coach, when Ange was here as well. I think it's something that has to happen. I honestly do. I know he was obviously here when things started to go to shit as well under Ange, of course, right? He was culpable in that. And I think there is something to be said, because I keep seeing people saying that, you know, you turned your back on Ange as well, you're to blame for this. I think almost in a way, Ange kind of sacking off the league in the way that he did last season has kind of lowered the standards at the football club. I'm not blaming him necessarily, because other managers have not been able to get a tune out of these players, right? And if I could have probably rolled the dice and gone back and had season 3 with Ange, knowing what we know now, I probably would have done, because 1, it might have been better, who knows, and 2, well, we'd probably be playing better football. And also, if it had gone wrong, they probably would have sacked him earlier. And now we're in a situation where we could be looking at our 3rd manager. But I also think it's probably something that Spurs have got to do. The higher-ups, the people that make the decision at this football club, have absolutely fucked us. Absolutely fucked us. Johan Lang, Vinay, they've got to be out the door ASAP. We don't even need to have them in charge now. Go and get Ryan Mason. Tell Vinay to pack his bags. Lang ain't got to sign and scout any more players because we're getting a new director of football anyway. Dougie Freedman in the rumour today. And let Ryan Mason just do it. I honestly think maybe get some of the other ex-players back as well. Maybe Jermaine. I don't know. And I wasn't in favour of Redknapp or anything like that because he's 80, right? He's 80 years old. But I just think with Ryan Mason, I might be wrong. This is just my feeling. This is what I would do right now. We need someone who understands what it means to play for Tottenham Hotspur. We need someone who understands what it means to keep Tottenham Hotspur in the Premier League. We need someone who is a fighter, who is a warrior, who bleeds Tottenham and gets it and will get that buy-in in connection with the fans. Those are just my thoughts. If you disagree, that's absolutely fine. Who would you go and get? Some people are saying Sean Dyche. Some people are saying some other survival specialist. I don't know. I think I said it last night, right? There are so many of these players in this squad at the moment that I'd be happy not to see wear the shirt again. And I said last night that if we were to go down and we played a lot of the kids next year, and also by the same token, if Ryan Mason was our manager between now and the end of the season, at least I'd really care about who is representing my team. Because at the moment I don't. If we're down next season playing Championship football with the kids, at least I feel more connected to those players. And I'm not saying I do not want to go down. It'd be a disaster for Tottenham. But it's the same as Ryan Mason when he led us out for that Carabao Cup final. Yes, you can say the reasons why we sacked Mourinho were wrong. We sacked him so we could pay him off cheaper and all that kind of stuff and whatever. I still thought Jose Mourinho should have been sacked, even though people might disagree with that and say that how'd you go and sack Mourinho, who's got a great record against Pep in a cup final, blah, 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 blah. I get it. I do get it. But at the end of the day, I would have rather have seen a Ryan Mason team Ryan Mason lead out a Tottenham team that day. And that's kind of just how I feel between now and the end of the season. Igor Tudor was brought in to do a job, have an immediate impact, firefight straight away. We've lost 3 games and we're getting worse. I think we've got to roll the dice, especially if we lose to Forest. If we lose 7 games in the league in a row, Tudor loses his first 5 in a row in the Premier League, they've got to sack him. And it could be over. Honestly, it could be over by that point. It could be too late. I think they've got to do it now. Let me know what you think in the comments. Would you get Ryan Mason in charge now? Would you sack Igor Tudor? If you were going to sack Igor Tudor but didn't want Mason, who would you go and get? That's what I want to know. Make sure to download for analysis as well. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, hype the video, like the video. It massively helps me out. Thank you for all the support. We're all in this same boat together. It's going to be a long old ride to the end of the season, eh?